and welcome to another episode of the Tombstone Tourist. This week, I'm at the God's Acres Cemetery at the Hopewell Moravian Church in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Now, I'm going to say this right up front. Unless you were a fan of NASCAR Winston Cup Racing, you probably will have no idea of who I'm going to be visiting in this week's video. I'm going to go way back to the very beginning of NASCAR Winston Cup Racing. Now, we all know that NASCAR got its start when Bill France Sr. and a group of interested people met at the Streamline Hotel in Daytona Beach, Florida in December of 1947. After that meeting, a few days later, NASCAR was born. On February the 15th, 1948, the National Association of Stock Car Auto Racers ran its first race on the old Daytona Beach course. Red Byron won that first race. During the 1960s, NASCAR Grand National Racing was taking root at tracks throughout the South, holding races at places like Martinsville, Rockingham, Darlington, North Wilkesboro, and Charlotte, and of course, at its signature track, Daytona. Now, fast forward to 1970, and enter a man named Ralph Seagraves. Ralph was an official with the R.J.REYNOLDS Tobacco Company. Now, keep in mind that the federal government had recently banned cigarette advertising on radio and TV, and Ralph was looking for a way to advertise and sell cigarettes. Ralph was also a friend with Junior Johnson, and Junior saw an opportunity and approached Ralph about sponsoring one of his race cars. As the two talked, Ralph threw out a more ambitious plan, the idea of sponsoring the entire NASCAR Grand National Series. Junior put Ralph in touch with Bill France, and after a few conversations, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series was born. Junior often joked that he was the big loser in this deal because he lost his sponsorship. So, in 1971, for the first time in NASCAR history, the Grand National Series had full corporate sponsorship. For more than 30 years, Winston and NASCAR enjoyed one of the most successful associations in sports history. Under Ralph's leadership, RJR and its Winston brand not only contributed to the success of NASCAR Winston Cup Racing, it also funneled money into the local racetrack, allowing operators to make the necessary improvements that allowed the sport to grow on a local level, giving local drivers the opportunity to hone their skills before moving up to the Busch and Winston Cup Series. With the success of NASCAR Winston Cup Racing, other sports approached RJR about becoming involved in their sports. As a result, the R.J.REYNOLDS Tobacco Company became a major backer in other sports including golf, hydroplane racing, soccer, tennis, and drag racing. Ralph was also instrumental in bringing other sponsors into NASCAR. In fact, it was at Ralph's urging that Piedmont Airlines became the first major sponsor of Richard Childress Racing. Ralph was always looking for ways to promote the Winston brand and NASCAR's Winston Cup Racing. He hired a young man named T. Wayne Robertson to take the Winston show car to local events leading up to that week's NASCAR Winston Cup race. The show car would be accompanied by young ladies from a local modeling agency. These young ladies were known as, you guessed it, Miss Winston, and they began participating in pre-race activities at the track and appearing with the race winner in victory lane. For 30 years, the NASCAR Winston Cup Series was the most popular racing series not only in the United States, but in the world. In the early 80s, Ralph began looking at retirement, and in the process, he was tasked with selecting his own successor. He had to look no further than T. Wayne Robertson. When Ralph Seagraves retired in 1985, that young man he hired to drive the Winston show car became the head of special events marketing for the Winston brand of the R.J.REYNOLDS Tobacco Company. In retirement, Ralph stepped away from active marketing, but still maintained his association with friends like Bill France, Junior Johnson, and the legion of drivers and crew members that owe their success to the innovation and vision of Ralph Seagraves. During his long and successful career, Ralph has been inducted into the International Motorsports Hall of Fame, the International Drag Racing Hall of Fame, and the National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame, and he was the 2021 recipient of the NASCAR Hall of Fame's Landmark Achievement Award. Ralph Seagraves passed away on September 27, 1998, at the age of 69. The man that gave us the NASCAR Winston Cup Series is resting here in the Hopewell Moravian God's Acre Cemetery in Forsyth County, North Carolina. Well, this is where I'm going to end this video. If you remember Ralph Seagraves or have a special memory of the NASCAR Winston Cup Racing Series, please share those memories with us in the comments. And if you haven't already done so, I hope you'll consider subscribing. That way you'll be able to be notified when a new video is posted. And if you're so inclined, a thumbs up is always very much appreciated. Now, until next time, please remember, life is a wonderful journey. Be sure to take time and enjoy it. And I'll see you down the road. So long, everybody.